A new tool to help teenagers sort real news from the fake is being unveiled in Australia today. The Media Literacy Lab has been set up by children's charity, the Alannah and Madeline Foundation, with the aim of teaching people aged between 12 and 16 to identify reliable news as well as hate speech. Solli Raphael is Youth Ambassador for the project and he joins us now from Melbourne. Solli, g'day. So how tough is it for teenagers to work out what is just rubbish and what is credible news?
Good morning, Joe. I think it's really tough, especially now with COVID-19. There's just such an information overload going on around the world. So I think it's really important, even though it's cliche now more than ever, I think it's really important that young people have the tools and the resources they need to be able to dissect the information they're getting every day.
And where do teenagers get most of their news?
Mostly from either the web or social media.
Yeah. And so does that pose its own challenges? Because traditionally, like oldies like me, we used to sit down and watch the 7 o'clock news at night and would read the papers in the morning and didn't have access to all everything that was popping up on the web. So does the internet pose its own particular challenges?
It does. There's just so much depth to social media, from media tactics, manipulation of young people, personalisation, algorithms. There's just so much to social media. Yeah. So I think it's really important that young people know what to expect when they join social media.
Yeah. So what is the Media Literacy Hub?
It's a lab that helps young people to think critically about what's going on around the world. It helps them by giving them resources, tools, and ways they can dissect the media through fact-checking, cross-referencing. So it's a lab that helps them to feel empowered to use social media and better utilise it.
Yeah. And so can you give us an example of one of those tools for us, and like say an example of a story that you come across and how you work out whether it's rubbish or true?
Yeah, absolutely. So if someone's scrolling through social media and they come across a story on the bushfires, for example, the best thing to do before looking at it is see who it's by, if they're a reputable source, and then to fact check and cross-reference. So maybe look at another reputable website to see if the news story is reliable and is the same on both pages, to make sure they're getting the accurate information. Because so much of the time, people might be spreading news stories to family or friends that they think is accurate, but is actually not. And so this is how false information and misleading information can get around so quickly.
Yeah, and so who determines what is a reputable source? Is the Media Lab going to have a list of what it regards as credible sources, or how's that going to work?
It definitely does. So the Media Literacy Lab has a whole list of reputable sources right here in Australia and around the world. And it also lets young people think about their own sources. So what they would usually use, whether it's TV, radio, social media, and to find their own reputable sources as well.
And so how important is it that teenagers work out how to do this?
It's so important because media literacy is not a topic or a subject. It's a daily routine. It's a part of everyone's everyday life. So developing media literacy skills is so important because the benefit of those skills is to be able to break down the stories in the media, to be able to work out what's accurate, what's not accurate, to be able to better understand what's going on around the world.
So I guess this is a case of individuals taking on more responsibility for working out what's credible or not. Do you think some of the big social media organisations should be taking more responsibility to stop the spreading of rubbish on their platforms?
Absolutely, Joe. I think personalisation is something that is just so undiscovered and something that social media platforms should be really taking seriously. It's basically where they personalise each user's feed, so the user might not actually be getting accurate information or information that other users would see. So this has a really negative effect on the user. They might not be getting information they need, current and the latest news stories. So it's something that social media platforms should definitely take seriously.
And Solli, just on a different subject, what's it like for a teenager in Melbourne at the moment? Are we actually interrupting your school day now?
Oh, a little bit, but I'll catch up. But it's really crazy at the moment, obviously having school and most things online now. And honestly, I think COVID-19 comes back to media literacy. Even adults and young people especially are online so much more now, from working from home and doing school online. So those media literacy skills definitely would come in handy.
And how are you handling the restrictions yourself? You're unable to see friends at all at the moment? How's it working?
It's tough, but it's how it is for the moment. I'm still in touch with all my friends regularly. So it's just how it is. I'm keeping busy. I've got a new book coming out in September, so I'm always keeping busy.
Cool. And have you got your mask?
I do have my mask. Not here in my office, it's in the other room, but I do.
Good. It's been so cool talking to you, Solli, and good on you for stepping up and being a youth ambassador for this project.
You're welcome, Joe. Thank you so much.
Cheers.